Welcome back to the battlefield. In today's episode, I have to make the choice whether to cross the Adriatic and invade Italy, or whether to continue around and invade from the north. But before we even worry about that, let's get into this battle. Now my concern here is these are all medium melee infantry, and in my experience they do okay but not super well. And we're going up against an equal amount of heavy melee infantry and a ton of light spears. So I'm a little bit concerned that we just won't have the manpower to cut through all of them. My archers, which are extremely useful, won't be able to do a ton of damage because of how big the Italian shields are. But let's get in there and see how things go. I do have a couple of tortoises, so I can open a few breaches and save my artillery for hitting the enemy infantry instead of opening up the walls. But we will see if that is enough. Now, where to attack? I honestly kind of like the idea of attacking this little segment.
Missile warriors! Archers! Keep watch!
Your orders? As you command. Swords!
I don't love attacking up a hill like that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set up for the attack here. Now there is no way down off of this wall from that tower, so I'm not going to send a ladder over there. I'll keep a second ladder here, but I don't really plan on using it.
Yours to command! We'll kill them all!
Axes!
You know what, I do kind of want these lighter swords to take the tortoises forward.
Ballista!
And what's going to be the best angle for my artillery to fire at? I'm wondering if it would be good to set them over here and try and shoot over the wall into this area. I'm not sure how far up this hill my artillery will be allowed to go, but probably not very far. I'll keep the artillery here and we'll just see what kind of options we get. Okay, so I can go up to this point. It's not particularly good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move my artillery up to here just so they are firing over a shorter distance. Just get the archers out of the way so the artillery can move a little bit quicker.
Ready for orders! Forward!
Swords!
Alright, and there's not much else to do besides just send the tortoises up. These guys will take all of the javelins. They'll probably take some pretty heavy damage from it, but there's only so much you can do about that.
Missiles ready! Move it! Forward!
I'm almost tempted to run my cavalry up here and have my cavalry kind of catch all of these javelins.
We'll kill them all! Swords!
I'm actually going to try that and just see how it goes.
Lancers!
So I'm okay with this cav taking some casualties, because I don't really need them for this battle, so they should have time to replenish after.
Forward! Advance at speed!
Plus I'm hoping I can just get them to be really inaccurate.
Forward!
Your orders. By your command.
Orders? Yes, Commander. Warriors, ready!
Okay, if they're all moving around, they're not going to be able to throw their javelins.
Advance at speed! Quickly now! Riders,
Let's try and stay out of the way of these units.
Riders, advance!
Now I could use my artillery on... You know what, I am going to break down that tower, just because I won't be able to send guys up a ladder to capture it. Because once I've destroyed the walls here, obviously I won't be able to get any units off of this side of the wall.
Swords! Ready for orders! Swords! Loose! Archers! Run! Casio!
I do want to be slow about putting my guys up on the walls though,
destroyed.
just because that's a... Historically, that I have found that to be a very, very good way to get my units killed. I can move my artillery up here, so I'm gonna give that a try and just see how that works. I'm really hoping that this tortoise is going to break down this entire corner.
Swords!
Okay, it's good that they're sending spears up here because they don't have javelins to throw at me. Still take... Oh, that's actually attrition from besieging, not damage from towers, never mind. This tortoise is having a little bit of difficulty.
The walls are breached.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these back
Quick march!
and reevaluate.
Take aim! Fire!
We await your command.
I am going to bring the cavalry up here just in case they decide to charge out and mess with these guys while they're breaking the wall down. It's good to see the AI kind of clumped up in here because that means we should be able to get some decent artillery fire into this area. We'll catch a couple of them. Well, all of these guys are stuck up on the wall for the rest of the match anyway. Good, we will be destroying the entire corner.
The walls are breached.
Now the unfortunate thing
Double time. Advance at speed.
is that this tortoise might actually end up blocking a lot of my artillery fire from this angle. So it might be wise for me to break down another section of wall with the artillery.
Missile armed warriors!
Let's try and get rid of these slingers before they can do any damage. Our archers can actually just shoot that far, that's insane. Not the most effective of volleys. But it's done plenty of damage to them. They might even start breaking here in a moment anyway. It's fine if they sling a few rocks into the front of our shields there. Okay, I'll just have a couple of these units finish this off. Because it looks like I can actually fire straight through the tortoise for some reason. We'll run up here and maybe use the cavalry to finish this. Just to try and get some use out of the cavalry. Plus we can maybe, we can bait a bunch of the javelins. Anything we can do to get the AI to waste their firepower. Okay, you guys, stop. That unit actually got behind some decent cover there. It's a bit unfortunate.
We will pierce their hearts, General. Advance at speed. Missiles ready. Stall.
Alright, no need to send the general in for a war cry because they decided to give up on their own. Alright, well, now it's time to send in the troops. Take them off fire at will, just so they don't waste javelins on these couple of units retreating. Go ahead and move the archers forward just a little bit.
Our hidden units have been discovered. We have no fear.
Okay, artillery, can you fire into this area? Not quite. They can fire into here, and fairly accurate, with fairly accurate fire as well. I think I'm going to break down that wall.
Artillery ready.
Not quite sure what this unit is doing.
As you command.
See if I can get them to manually reform a little bit.
Swords.
Alright, now, swords, try and get up into this breach a little bit so you can throw your javelins. Actually, go ahead and wait for a minute because we're still shelling that part of the wall. At least the artillery is being very effective against the wall since we're so close. Yeah, alright, I don't know what your problem is, but move up here and maybe that'll help a bit.
Quickly now. Field artillery awaiting orders. Chosen swords. The walls are breached.
Right, now let's go ahead and move the infantry forward. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on fire at will here. Move these guys off to this side. Bring the archers. I'll keep the archers where they are for the time being. Try and fire into this blob while it's here. Do you know what? Actually, my artillery is going to be hitting my own guys if they get up on the wall here. I need to get my artillery up a little bit higher, so let's move all the way up to this ridge. I'll just go ahead and move this one up to here, I guess. Time for you guys to get on there. You guys are throwing your javelins.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, you've used your ammo, so charge in there. Can you guys throw your javelins from this far? I hope so. Okay, you guys get up here. You guys get up here as well.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
You guys just hang out in reserve. Archers come over this direction. Nah, archers just hang out here for a minute.
Field artillery ready.
Okay. I still don't have a great angle to fire into that, just because I have to shoot right through my own guys. So I'll wait for my guys to get over the wall and then start firing towards the back of this group.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Fearless warriors! Ex-warriors! Warriors on me! Archers! Get ready! As you command! Ready! Ballista!
Okay, I'm gonna need more bodies in on this side, so let's spread this unit out and then send it in. Wow, we're actually making really good progress on that unit. It kind of shocks me. Okay, I'll let this unit kind of charge that direction. I'll try and bring these guys into the middle here. How are these guys doing? They're still doing okay. Okay, archers. Give me some volleys into that area. Just go ahead and keep going with that artillery piece for now. I'm gonna need another unit to reinforce these guys. Yeah, my archers aren't going to get a lot of kills. The goal is for them to just kind of generally cause problems. I'm actually going to switch one of them over to flaming shot and have two of them hold fire. Because that way we're doing damage and injuring their morale. Doing some morale damage as well. Okay, you guys need to hurry up. You know what, you guys actually go ahead and drop the equipment and get ready to go in on this front. I can accept that some friendly fire is going to happen here, just in favor of trying to smash through this group of infantry as quickly as possible. Okay, you guys can go ahead and attack down off the wall. You guys can get up here. Actually going to try firing just past the infantry. So some shots, a lot of shots are going to go long, but this way I think I'll minimize friendly fire.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
I won't worry too much about it. I'll just let them go ahead and fire into that indiscriminately. Archers starting to run out of ammo. Let's try and get our guys inspired up here real quick, just to help them fight through this. Told you guys to attack down off the wall, so please do that. You guys go ahead and get up on the wall.
At your service. Double time. Chosen swords. Yours to command. Never surrender. Victory! Deadly missiles.
Go ahead and have another archer unit start opening fire on here again. Change this one over to make sure we're not shooting into our own guys at all if we can avoid it. You guys seriously need to get down off the wall. Now that you guys are climbing the ladder, you can go ahead and fire at will, because then when you get up to the top of the ladder, you will be able to throw your javelins down into this mess. Okay, I'm going to send another unit over here just to reinforce these guys, because they're a little bit injured. "30 seconds till our next war cry." Let's make sure the cavalry is close enough to charge in there.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, we are chewing through these guys. I'm actually really impressed with these axes on the front line. Okay, let's try and charge into the flank there. Archers, go ahead and cease fire. That was the saddest charge I've ever seen. Okay, it looks like we're going to break through this soon enough, so I don't feel a need to send this unit up on the wall. Try and keep this unit in the fight. Don't want to use second wind yet. Okay, there's the cue for the archers. It's always a good idea to save at least a little ammo. Okay, we've smashed through that flank. Let's try and bring some of these guys back and around. We'll send the rest into the front line just to bolster these units. Looking back, this was actually a really strategically poor place to attack, because it's a massive choke point through here. But I'm really impressed with how well my infantry did. Really, really impressed with how well my infantry did there. I did not think they were going to perform that well. as good as these archers are, obviously they didn't get a lot of kills, but I wasn't really using them to try and get kills. I was using them to apply debuffs to the enemy's morale. I really don't need any of those buildings. But I don't get a ton out of looting this city, so I'm just gonna raise it. I would like to have some kind of military base of operations along the Adriatic, so that seems like the right call to me. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how well these Galatian swords did. Up here, we're still waiting to see if the Romans dare attack. They certainly have the numbers. Alright, now what else was I working on? Okay, this fleet is recruiting. These guys had just moved over to support. They're going for some replenishment. Alright. Alright, that should be about it for this turn. Let's check over here real quick, because this army may not really be necessary, and it is somewhat expensive. Yeah, now that our enemy over here, I mean not our enemy, but the guys who really hated us over here, now that they've been dealt with, I think I can disband this army. And that'll save me 5 grand per turn. Okay, Thrake and Bosporus kind of go back and forth between who makes the most money. For now, let's go ahead and cancel that and put this edict into Thrake. I may actually do the sell slaves option. No, I guess not. We'll just do tax rate, even though it's not particularly good because it's being reduced by 2%, I mean. Okay, over here we just have to sit and play some more defense. Macedonia is obviously upset. Pannonia isn't too happy. Alright, this guy is old enough to start having some kind of impact. So, as always, we will use him to throw some money around and keep people happy. Okay, Rome didn't counterattack anywhere, which is a good sign. Right now I'm really thinking it would be best to not cross the Adriatic, but to go around it. Because I think it's safe to assume that Rome has at least 2 or 3 fleets roaming around. And I don't want them to come over and take my cities. Oh, and I'm getting a new army over here. I forgot about that. Okay, I don't really care about that army. Here's our this year in history. Faction joins war. Okay, that's not a war I care about anymore.
We hunger for battle.
Alright, now how long would it take? Alright, so it's going to take several turns to rotate troops that direction. But I definitely think that's the right call, so I'm going to start doing it. Over here, I don't need to defend this from anything because I can hold a front line, so I think it's safe to just move on to the next settlement. It's going to hurt public order, but I still think it's the right call.
Let them cower like kenneled dogs.
I'm going to go ahead and fight this one real quick just to preserve my men. That's fine, we can fight in the snow. I don't often have winter battles, so this could be just a nice change of pace. Take just a really standard deployment here. I'm going to use these couple of units more aggressively just because I plan on replacing them in the immediate future. It's not quite everyone. I was going to say, I know there's someone else. Alright, artillery, you are free to fire. It may actually be better for the artillery to fire into their skirmishing units, because I think they might be capable of doing more damage. Okay. I always forget that their naval units exist, so we'll send the cavalry off to deal with that. They don't have any other cavalry. They don't have any cavalry at all. Okay, archers, I didn't really mean for you to be firing into that. Shoot into that group instead. I think I'm going to be too late to catch their couple of javelin units back here. Alright, we've done a decent amount of damage to this unit in the front. Let's shift targets to a more healthy unit. Okay, I'll keep rotating the archers around this direction. I do need to move the rest of the infantry further forward so that we don't get overwhelmed over here.
Ready for orders. Ready.
I'm actually just going to go ahead and charge these guys in.
One of our units has used all its ammunition. Chosen swords! We'll kill them all! Chosen swords! Swords! At the double!
Artillery, yep, shoot at the
One of our
general.
units has used all its ammunition.
Archers have moved around far enough.
Chosen swords! Swords! Battle ready and eager! Chosen swords! Ready for battle!
Let's reform the archers so they can fire in more clean volleys.
General! Chosen swords! Orders! Unknown!
Okay, I think there's an opportunity for us to get the cavalry back here. Go ahead and shift targets with the artillery just for the time being.
One of our units
Well,
has used
for
all
the
its
remainder
ammunition.
of their firing, I guess, not just the time being.
Ready and waiting! Warriors, ready!
Okay, you guys get to form your own a new front line. Unfortunately, these spears did turn around, so they're gonna do a decent amount of damage to my cavalry here. Archers have undoubtedly killed their targets, so let's shift targets.
Ready! Ready!
I'm gonna go ahead and send a unit of infantry up here, just so I don't lose this whole unit of cav.
Orders! General!
Archers have killed another unit. You guys can fire into the side over there.
General! Fearless warriors! Ex-warriors!
Okay, those guys aren't... My cavalry's not going down too fast over here.
Engage the cavalry! Battle ready! Orders! Chosen swords!
Fire at the general now.
Engage the cavalry! For the gods!
Okay, now archers cease fire. Peltas cease fire.
They will bleed. Our general is under attack.
Those guys are still doing okay. Let the general go ahead and fight it out here for a bit.
Ready! Swords! We await your command. Break the lines! We will pierce their hearts!
Alright, so a quick, easy battle. I think I kept my casualties down fairly well. I think I lost, what is that, maybe 3% of my army? Alright, so nice easy win. I'm actually just going to occupy this one. Ah, I shouldn't have. It's going to take 10 turns to convert that. So I'm not going to have a solid garrison. Well, we'll be alright. I'm actually just going to dismantle this. Okay, up here we're gonna have a rebellion. That's not too much of a problem.
At your command.
Okay, I want to find where that other legion went. Is this the same one, or is that a third legion? You can go over here. You can actually just hang out and keep an eye on that army. Could do with a little bit more cultural conversion here as well. Okay, we have enough supplies for this fleet to stay out at sea for another turn while this one continues recruiting. But since we're going to have to sit here anyway, let's pop this one out of the port, put these guys in, that way they can get their supplies while these guys finish recruiting. And then they'll be ready to go next turn. Everyone else probably gets to just sit still on defense for a little while longer. I mean, at this point, oh, I didn't realize I could get that one leveled up further. At this point, that would have been about the only thing I care about having for a veteran. Okay, this lot are still hiring new troops. And that should be all for this turn. Let's just do a quick check around the place for public order. I'm not going to construct this until... I always say that. I always say I'm not going to do this, and then I do it anyway. So I'm just going to do it anyway right off the bat. My thinking was wait until the food situation is resolved, but... or improved, rather. Okay, Dacia definitely needs some help with public order. I might send a diplomat up here. I don't think there's much point sending one over here. I could... I don't think the Romans would have the range to attack me, so I think it's safe to actually pull this army out of the settlement and patrol. And that will help public order. Alright, now who are we sending up to Dacia? We'll go ahead and send this guy, why not? And you know what, I might actually increase my tax rate as well. Yeah, I think it's worth it to get the extra income, because I've diminished my treasury quite substantially with all of that construction. So I was kind of concerned about Roman garrisons because they're usually really, really strong. But after how well my auxiliary swords did against that one garrison. I'm really not feeling too concerned about it anymore. I'm losing just a tiny bit of influence isn't a big deal. I think I'm doing civil stuff right now. I love it when I remember correctly. Okay, tons of construction completed this turn. Which is actually kind of a bad thing, because that makes me want to continue building, and that's going to drain my treasury even further. Alright, well, let's get the fleets on the move. Need to make sure that they're not going to outrange each other. Let's go ahead and upgrade all of these. I feel like I'm gonna have to go with extra food here. Okay, these Romans are still sitting around waiting. So they do have 3 full legions. There's a 4th one that was mostly Principes. Most of their infantry is Principes, and I'm not sure where that one is right now.
At your service, swift and silent as a shadow.
I would like to build this because you can get a ton of money out of these buildings, but I think the public order is going to be more important here.
At your command.
Okay, and even with boosted taxes, our public order is still positive in most regions. If I were to pull my armies out of these cities, public order would go way up. But since I'm not exactly sure where any Roman fleets are, I don't want to do that just yet. Maybe next turn. But oh boy, we've got some serious battles coming up in the future up here. Okay, I kind of don't want to send Grumpy's Guard through this province because it keeps having... Or I guess it's both of these provinces keep having harsh winters. And I just don't want to take that kind of attrition, so I'm going to go this way even though it takes a bit longer. Two more turns down here. I don't really think there's much else that needs to be done this turn. Because everyone else is pretty much just replenishing. I'll go ahead and spend the money on some loyalty over here. Just keep that going.
Hermes would surely bless you if trade between our peoples was allowed. Do not annoy the gods.
We hunger for battle. Ready for battle.
Ready for further orders.
Are you ready to... At your command.
Advance.
Ready for battle. Ready for orders.
Commander?
Swift and silent as a shadow. Swift and silent, a shadow among shadows. My skill on the road again. Something bars my passage. How may I say, swift and silent as a shadow.
We hunger for battle. Get moving, you wretches. Commander. We hunger for battle. You will march till your feet bleed.
Ready for battle. Ready for orders. Commander?
Commander.
At your command. At once. Ready for further orders. Surprise will be our advantage. Ready for battle. We hunger for battle. Fleet reporting. Steady as we go. It is an on... Moving out. Yes. Ready for orders. Hard on the oars, it is an honor to serve for honor and glory. Ready for orders. Advance. Commander. honor to serve. Fleet reporting. Ready for battle.
So my microphone just cut out for that last segment. Apologize for that.
Shall we hack at each other until our enemies can gorge
I'm not going to
themselves on
accept
warriors?
peace up there because my client state is still at war with them. And I want my client state to stay on my team. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Basically, my thinking here is I can kind of blockade this area so I don't need to defend all of these port cities with an army in them.
At your command.
And that means I can rotate my troops forward. Now up here we have a little bit of a problem.
Ready for orders.
But we've got 2 pike armies and 2 siege armies, all of which are at full strength.
Ready for battle.
Commander.
Ready for orders.
So we can pretty much guarantee a 2v2 in any situation. I would obviously rather have a field battle
Ready for battle.
than a garrison battle because I don't want the garrison troops getting involved.
At your command.
Alright, well anyway, I'm going to end this episode here,
Commander.
and we will pick up next time where we should have some pretty intense fighting. But until then, you guys have a good one.